So this is a short video that really is going to focus on integer operations and PEMDAS. So I want to remind you that today, Tuesday, August 11th, your first assignment is just going to be on multiplying and dividing integers. And you watched that video yesterday, so you should grab out your notes from yesterday so you can familiarize yourself with multiplying and dividing integers. But today we're going to talk about integer operations, and by that I mean like multiplications. So how about -4 minus 3 in a parenthesis plus 8 all over, well, I won't turn it into a fraction yet. We'll just do that first. Okay. So order of operations, remember that we have to do parentheses first. So the first problem that I'm actually focusing on is just the -4 minus 3. So I'm going to rewrite that. And I'm going to use the method that you learned yesterday. I'm just going to circle my two terms. So I have a -4 and I have a -3. So tell me, are the signs the same or are they different? Yes, the signs are the same. And when the signs are the same, you add and keep. You're going to add the two numbers together and keep the sign. So 4 plus 3 is 7, and I'm going to keep the sign, so it's -7. So now I'm going to rewrite this problem, and I'm going to take my -7 and substitute that in for the value inside of the parenthesis. So now I have parenthesis -7 plus 8. Okay, so let's circle my two terms. -7, +8. Are the signs the same or are they different? Yes, the signs are different. Now, when the signs are different, what do? We subtract and we keep the sign of the bigger number. So I need to subtract. 8 take away 7 is 1. 8 is the bigger number and it is positive. So my final answer is +1. All right, let's do another example. Out -4 minus -3 plus 2 times -1 minus 4. So again, I have two parentheses. This is one grouping, and this is my other grouping. When you have two parentheses smashed up together, this operation that's taking place right there is going to be a multiply, but I cannot multiply until I simplify these parentheses. So I'm going to focus on this first parenthesis and rewrite it. -4 minus a negative. Well, yesterday we learned that when we have two minus signs or two negatives right next to each other, that becomes a great big plus. And then bring down the +2. So we're going to focus on two terms at a time. -4 plus 3. Are the signs the same or are they different? Well, these are different. One is negative and one is positive. So different signs subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Keep the sign of the larger number, which is negative. 4 is negative. So I really have -1 plus 2. Are the signs the same or are they different? Well, they're different. One is negative and one is positive. So that's really a subtraction problem. 2 take away 1 is 1. Keep the sign of the bigger number and it is positive. So that first parenthesis just contains a +1. Let's look at the second parenthesis. So the second parenthesis, I have -1 minus, let me fix that, sorry. I have -1 minus 4. When I circle my two terms, -1 minus 4, I'm going to look at the two numbers. Are the signs the same? Yes, they are. They're both negative. So this is the rule, same sign, add and keep. So the signs are the same. 1 plus 4 is 5. Keep the negative. All right, so that second parenthesis has the number -5. And when I take two numbers and smash them together with parentheses, and there's no operation in between them, remember this is a multiplication problem. This is going to be a multiply. So -1 times -5, the operation here is multiply. +1 times -5. Well, a positive times a negative is a negative, and really anything times 1 is that number. All right, let's try another one. Next one I'm going to do a little bit more tricky. I'm going to put some division in here, okay? So let's see. I have -4 plus 2 minus 3, all inside of a bracket, plus 7 on the outside, all divided by -2. So let's start with this right here. We're just going to work it a little bit at a time. So -4 plus 2, I'm going to circle them. Are the signs the same or are they different? Yes, the signs are different, so that's a subtraction problem. 4 take away 2 is 2. Keep the sign of the bigger number and bring down your -3. I'm going to circle these two terms. I have a -2 and a -3. Are the signs the same or are they different? They're the same. That means I'm going to add and keep. 2 and 3 equal 5. Keep the negative. So this is the term inside of the bracket. And it has a +7 over it, all over -2. So before we divide, we have to do this simplification here. So I have a -5 and a +7. Are the signs the same or are they different? They're different, so it's going to be a subtraction problem. 7 minus 5 is 2. Keep the sign of the bigger number, which is a +7, all over -2. A positive divided by a negative is a negative, and 2 over 2 reduces to 1. So that is your final answer. Okay? Last example is going to, because I think it's important for you to remember what happens with exponents. So 4 squared minus a -5, close that parenthesis, all over a -7. So PEMDAS says we have to do parentheses first, but I also have to take care of that exponent. So let's simplify this bracket a little bit. 4 to the second power. That does not mean 4 times 2. It means 4 times 4. And 4 times 4 is 16. When I have a minus and a negative smashed together and nothing in between it, that turns into a great big plus. Bring down your 5. So inside that bracket is really just the numbers 16 plus 5. And 16 plus 5 is 21. And this is all over -7. We're doing a division. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So your answer is -3. Last example, I promise this will be the very last. How about -2 times -2 times -3 times 4 all over -6. All right, 2 numbers at a time. A negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 2 is 4. I have 4 times -3. A positive times a negative is a negative. 4 times 3 is 12. Now I have -12 times 4. A negative times a positive is a negative. 12 times 4 is 48. Bring down my -6. All right. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, so my answer is going to be positive. 48 divided by 6 is 8. So that's what you're going to be doing, okay? So good luck. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me.